There's a growing group of men who aren't single because they can't find someone. They're single because they've made a deliberate choice. And here's what's surprising, psychologists are finding that these men don't fit the stereotypes you'd expect. They're not bitter. They're not avoiding responsibility. In fact, research shows they might be operating on a completely different psychological framework than most people realize. What's happening in their minds that makes lifelong partnership feel less like a dream and more like an optional path? The answer reveals something unexpected about how we're all wired. First, let's clear up what we're not talking about. This isn't about men who want relationships but struggle to find them. This is about men who've actively chosen solitude as their preferred way of living, and they're comfortable with that decision long term. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found something fascinating. People with higher levels of what researchers call self-sufficiency motivation report equal or greater life satisfaction when single compared to when partnered. But here's where it gets interesting. The men in this category showed distinct psychological patterns that separated them from the general population. They scored significantly higher in something called autonomous functioning. That's not just independence. It's the capacity to self-regulate emotions, create meaning without external validation, and maintain psychological stability without relying on another person as an emotional anchor. Now, you might be thinking this sounds lonely. But research from the University of California, Santa Barbara challenges that assumption entirely. Dr. Bella DePaulo, who studied single people for over 2 decades, discovered that chronically single men who choose that lifestyle actually maintain more diverse social networks than their married counterparts. They invest heavily in friendships, community involvement, and extended family relationships. Their social fulfillment doesn't come from one person, it comes from a carefully cultivated ecosystem of connections. And here's the twist. Brain imaging studies show that people who thrive in solitude have higher activity in the prefrontal cortex regions associated with self-reflection and internal reward processing. They literally get more neurological satisfaction from solo activities, creative pursuits, and independent goal achievement. Their brains are wired to find fulfillment differently. But perhaps the most misunderstood aspect is their relationship with freedom. It's not freedom from something, it's freedom for something. A longitudinal study from Germany's Max Planck Institute tracked men across 15 years and found that those who intentionally remained single showed remarkable consistency in one area: they had crystal clear personal missions. These weren't vague dreams. We're talking concrete life projects, building businesses, mastering crafts, pursuing artistic goals, or dedicating themselves to causes they believed in. The researchers noted something striking. These men didn't view relationships as incompatible with their goals theoretically. They viewed them as psychologically incompatible with the depth of focus their goals required. They'd consciously chosen singular dedication over divided attention. And the outcome? Their psychological well-being markers, purpose, autonomy, personal growth, consistently scored in the highest percentiles. They weren't missing out. They were maximizing a different equation entirely. So here's what this really reveals: there isn't one right way to structure a fulfilling life. The men who choose to stay single aren't broken, afraid, or incomplete. They've simply discovered that their psychological architecture thrives under different conditions than cultural narratives suggest. And maybe that's the most important insight: authentic well-being comes from understanding your design, not following someone else's blueprint.